So, chapter 31 is called A Message for Mr. Carter. While Ryan was at Aunt Annie's, Mr. Carter went back to Mr. Carter's flat. He was still troubled about Diona. He took off the suit jacket and sat on Mr. Carter's not very comfy black leather sofa, wondering what to do. He tried watching TV, but not only was the screen quite tiny, all the series links were for channels called things like History and Geographic and Natural, so there wasn't anything exciting recorded for him to watch. Perhaps I should call Mum, he thought. She would know what's best. Can we leave the chat box alone now, please? I did say. Thank you. Then he realised he couldn't do that. Or at least it would take a lot of explaining and she wouldn't believe him. And even if she did, he doubted that at the end of it she'd be very interested in answering the question. So anyway, what should I say to Diona to make her like me again? He got up and rummaged through the 14 cardboard pizza boxes strewn around the living room to see if there were any bits of delicious stuffed crust left. But since he'd already done this last night, there weren't. He went back to the jacket, took out Mr. Carter's credit card and went over to the phone. When he picked up the receiver, though, he wasn't sure about ordering pizza again. He didn't know how much money Mr. Carter actually had in his bank account, and he didn't want to spend it all on pizza. And we've got a picture here, if you can see that, of how dirty and disgusting Ryan in Mr. Carter's body has made the flat. Really gross. Plus, it didn't feel quite as thrilling and fun just to do it again. He suddenly had an image of him ordering pizza every night, stretching into the future, and it didn't feel fun at all. In truth, he wasn't that hungry. He just felt a tiny bit lonely. He even thought to himself, looking at the boxes, "Eatza," just because it was what his baby sister would have said, or maybe "Eatza ox." He'd like to have heard that. It would have made him laugh and cheered him up. Then he noticed that on the main phone console there was a light blinking, which meant there was a message for him. Well, not for him, for Mr. Carter. So maybe he should ignore it. But then again it was blinking, and Ryan felt a tiny bit lonely. At least it would be good hearing another voice, so he pressed the button. "Hello?" said a worried-sounding female voice on the machine. "This is a message for Mr. Carter. It's Zadie at St. Winifred's. Your mum has taken a bit of a turn for the worse, I'm afraid. She's stable at the moment, but you should come down as soon as you can. Thanks, all the best, Zadie." Oh, I already said that. Already. Anyway, bye. And that is the end of the chapter.